What really happened when Jimin was suddenly stopped by security at the airport? And why did this moment ignite panic, tears, and endless questions among ARMY around the world? Like, comment, and subscribe to uncover the truth behind the tension that shook fans everywhere. Why did the footsteps suddenly stop? That was the question echoing through the minds of millions of fans around the world when a short, blurry clip began circulating online, showing Jimin, calm just seconds earlier, being unexpectedly intercepted by airport security. Before anyone could understand what was happening, panic spread faster than facts, fear louder than logic, and speculation sharper than truth. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching closely. Because what unfolded next was not just an airport incident, but a moment that revealed the fragile emotional bond between an artist and the global fandom that watches his every move. It began like countless other departures. An airport filled with the low hum of rolling suitcases, hurried announcements, flashes of camera lights, and the familiar presence of fans hopping to catch even a glimpse of their idol. Jimin walked with his usual composed grace, dressed simply yet unmistakably himself, offering a gentle nod and a soft smile that seemed to reassure everyone watching that everything was fine. And then, suddenly, it was. A uniformed security officer stepped into his path. Jimin slowed. The atmosphere shifted. In a matter of seconds, a routine moment transformed into a global mystery. The clip was short, barely long enough to provide answers, yet long enough to ignite chaos. Why was he stopped? Was there a problem with documents? Was there a security threat? Was he in danger? Or was this something far more ordinary that only looked dramatic because of the camera angle and the heightened emotions surrounding him? These questions flooded timelines, group chats, and comment sections, each theory more alarming than the last. The word "detained" trended alongside his name, despite no confirmation, no statement, no context. ARMY panicked not because of what they knew, but because of what they didn't. The silence between those few seconds of footage and any official clarification felt endless. For fans who have followed Jimin's journey from his early days to global stardom, the sight of him being halted so abruptly struck a deep emotional chord. He has always been associated with warmth, vulnerability, and quiet strength, and seeing that rhythm disrupted felt personal, almost invasive. As the video replayed on loop, fans dissected every frame. The way Jimin turned his head, the expression on his face, was it confusion, concern, or simply patience? The body language of the security personnel, routine or tense, each detail became a clue, each pause a potential hint toward a hidden truth. Some fans noticed how composed he remained, his posture relaxed, his expression controlled, suggesting that whatever the reason, it might not have been serious. Others argued that his calmness was precisely what made the moment more frightening, a reminder of how public figures are trained to mask uncertainty, even when something is wrong. Emotion ran high because Jimin is not just a celebrity to many. He is a symbol of comfort, resilience, and shared growth. For years, fans have watched him speak openly about pressure, self-doubt, and the weight of expectations. Seeing him stopped by authority, even briefly awakened collective anxiety rooted in empathy rather than logic. It wasn't about scandal, it was about concern. Speculation spiraled. Some whispered about overzealous security protocols triggered by crowd density. Others suggested a misunderstanding related to travel logistics, a routine identity verification blown out of proportion by the camera's unforgiving lens. More dramatic theories emerged too, hinting at threats, internal conflicts, or hidden agendas. Each theory fed the next, blurring the line between imagination and reality. What made the situation more intense was the lack of immediate explanation. In an age where information travels instantly, silence feels suspicious. Yet silence does not always mean danger. Sometimes it simply means that nothing extraordinary happened at all. But for ARMY, those minutes of not knowing felt heavy. Social media filled with messages of worry, prayers, anger, and desperate demands for clarity. Fans weren't looking for drama, they were looking for reassurance. As hours passed, longer footage began to surface, showing Jimin continuing on his way shortly after the brief stop. There was no visible distress, no escalation, no signs of conflict. The security interaction appeared brief and procedural, but by then, the emotional wave had already crested. The initial panic had left its mark, reminding everyone how vulnerable public perception can be when fueled by incomplete information. This incident, minor in reality yet massive in impact, exposed something deeper than a security check. It revealed the intensity of the bond between Jimin and his fans, a connection so strong that even a few seconds of uncertainty can send shockwaves across continents. It also highlighted the double-edged nature of visibility. Every movement documented, every pause scrutinized, every ordinary moment capable of becoming extraordinary under the gaze of millions. For Jimin, airports have long been transitional spaces, thresholds between personal time and public expectation. They are places where privacy is thin and emotions run high. This moment was no different, except that it happened under a microscope. His composed demeanor throughout the interaction became, in retrospect, a quiet reassurance, a silent message that he was okay even when the world around him wasn't sure. As clarity slowly replaced chaos, fans began to reflect. Why did we panic so quickly? Why did a few seconds of footage hold so much power? The answers lie not in the incident itself, but in the emotional investment that defines modern fandom. When artists share their vulnerabilities, their struggles, and their growth, fans feel protective. That protectiveness can turn into fear when something feels out of control. The airport incident did not end with scandal or revelation, but with a lesson. A reminder to pause, to wait for facts, to trust the quiet strength of someone who has navigated far greater storms. Yet it also validated the depth of ARMY's care, a collective heartbeat that reacts instinctively when something feels off. Even now, some questions linger, not because they demand answers, but because they symbolize the tension between public life and private reality. Was the stop purely routine? Almost certainly. Did it deserve the panic it caused? Probably not. But emotions do not always follow reason, especially when love and concern are involved. In the end, the image that remains is not one of fear, but of resilience. Jimin walking forward, unshaken, continuing his journey as he always has, gracefully, quietly, and with an unspoken understanding that millions are watching, worrying, and wishing him well. The incident may fade from headlines, but the emotional echo will linger as a testament to the powerful, sometimes overwhelming connection between an artist and those who stand beside him, even from afar. And so the question shifts from what happened at the airport to something more profound. What does it say about us, about fandom, about the way we experience concern in the digital age? The answer lies not in security footage or official statements, but in the collective reaction itself, a wave of fear, love, and relief that proves one thing beyond doubt. Jimin is never alone, even in the briefest, most misunderstood moments. If this moment made your heart race, if you found yourself refreshing timelines for updates, share your thoughts, leave a comment, and stay connected. Because in this story, as in so many others, the emotion is as real as the question that started it all. What really happened, and why did it matter so much?